Well, hey, good morning and welcome back to the Urban Preparedness Program. I am your host, the Urban Cockroach. As you can see today, we're going to talk about hygiene and getting clean. Not for me, you degenerates. This beautiful Kimber Custom Stainless Model 2. If you've been watching our show for the last few weeks, you'll notice we took it to the range the other day, and this dirty girl needs a bath. Alright, now that we've got some clothes on me and I've scrubbed off all of my nasty, let's take a look at this Kimber Custom Stainless Model 2, and we will talk about how to get the nasty off of this guy. Alright, so the first thing you need to do with any weapon as soon as you pick it up. For this one, you're going to notice that the hammer's back. Take that mag out. You're going to visually and physically inspect that chamber to make sure it's clear. This one is. Send that slide home. Release the hammer. Slowly release that cock. You don't want to squeeze the trigger and dry fire that weapon system. You don't want to do that with any weapons, but I definitely don't want to do it with my absolute favorite Kimber here. So the next thing you need to take into consideration is this lever right here. This is your slide lock. However, your slide lock also holds this particular piece of equipment together. So what you're going to notice here is this little groove. Right? That's what the slide lock locks into to hold your slide to the rear. Over here you've got this little button. This is the other side of your slide lock. So when you take this apart, rack it, and you'll notice this tiny little detent here. It's a barely noticeable little groove. You're going to line this up with the hole on the other side, and that's going to allow you to push this pin out to remove that slide. So we'll slide her forward just a little bit. You see that pin pushed through like that? Pull that whole slide lock right off of there. Now you'll notice this this grip safety here. If the grip safety is depressed by your hand, you won't be able to remove this slide. And we'll take a look right here. In order to get this off, you're going to see this little circle here. Now, Kimber actually provides a really convenient tool that you use to push that in and turn. Once it's turned out of the way, that spring comes right out of there. Once that spring's removed out, you can pull this right out the bottom. Rotate this back the other way, and I'll show you once I get it out of there. There's this little groove right here. This has to be lined up with this gap in order to go in or out. Slides in, and then that's actually what locks that in place. Now, if you don't have one of these fancy tools that allows you to depress that, you can use the bottom of your magazine. I've done that before too. That's super convenient. So the next thing you're going to do, grab right here, slide it forward just a little bit, push that forward, and the whole barrel comes right out the front. As you can tell, that barrel's a dirty girl from all of our time at the range. So we're going to get her nice and clean. She's going to look real polished up, and then we're going to put her back together. She's not too bad on the inside. You can tell there's a little bit of grime in here, but we're going to scrub all of this off where the powder burn exists on the inside, that carbon deposit. You're going to see a little bit here, and that right there is actually a little bit of surface rust, so we're going to show a lot of attention to right here on the edge of the rail. We need to make sure we get that off. Now, normally I would also take off my wraparound cover. This particular one is a recover. It'll fit almost all 1911 models and 45 ACP. It doesn't exactly snug up on the 9 mils. I don't know if the frames are a little bit thinner for those, but for some reason it doesn't seat properly on my 9mm 1911. That was actually made by Rock Island Armory, but it fits perfectly on this Kimber. And I put it on here because originally this beautiful piece of hardware had Brazilian rosewood grips, and it had the insignia of my old Marine Corps battalion on there. It was an absolutely beautiful piece, but it was designed to sit in a case and look beautiful. However, I don't agree with taking a firearm and placing it in a beautiful case and leaving it there forever. I like a firearm that I can use, shoot, and operate with. So I swapped out those really nice handles. I put them in the display case with my my coin collection, and I put this recover on there to help protect the finish, because this one is a stainless. It's the Kimber Custom Stainless Model 2. So we're going to leave this recover on there because it covers up the serial number on this particular 1911, and I don't exactly want to put that out there on the internet, so we're going to leave this on there for now. But all you have to do in order to take this off is 2 screws right here, the same way you would your regular pistol grips. 2 screws here, this 1 screw here, and 1 more up here underneath the rail. You take out these 6 screws, and this it's in 2 pieces. It pops right off and comes off of the weapon system. But today we won't actually need to do that, because most of our scrubbing we're going to do with a basic CLP brush and a little bit of lubricant. It should look just like that. All of your pieces nice and laid out, and as you clean them you can reassemble. So you start with your bottom, your lower receiver portion. Start by getting that nice and clean. Then you're going to move over and start cleaning your slide. And the reason I do it that way is so I can assemble my weapon as it's being cleaned. So I clean this because the very next portion would be the upper receiver that goes onto this, so I need to have this clean. I'm going to clean my slide or my upper receiver, depending on how you're thinking about it. The next piece I'm going to clean is my barrel, because that's the last thing that comes out, so it's the first thing to go back in. Then I'm going to clean my spring lock, my slide rail, and my slide lock lever. I will actually at some point clean the magazine. I'm going to pop all of the rounds out, take the bottom butt cap off, make sure the spring still has its tensile strength, probably clean the rounds off in case there's any carbon on there, and maybe drip a little bit of CLP down inside my my magazine as well. But for right now, I'd just like to get my weapon reassembled, because I don't like being in a situation where I'm sitting down and my self-defense weapon is not fully assembled.
Sitting here half drunk, my guns are numb. Just 2 of the vices I have. Between the cocaine and whiskey, they're both half empty. Strangers sleep on the bed. The hot sunlight cuts through the window as I reach for my last cigarette. If you live the hell that we've been through, maybe you'd learn to live with regret. So I'm chasing demons 1 shot at a time. So when I'm caught sober, they live in my mind, showing me things that I don't want to see. Take me places I just don't need to be. Next time I'm sober, it'll be 6 foot down. But even then, it still won't be over. Pour some whiskey on the ground. Whiskey on the ground. When I came back, they said I needed help. Pills and the alcohol don't mix too well. So I chase the people that love me away. No hesitation, self-medicate. Your PhD, man, it don't mean a thing until you feel a rifle out there next to me. I'm chasing demons one shot at a time. I'm caught sober, they live in my mind, showing me things that I don't want to see. Take me places I just don't need.
All right, I think that about covers it. She's all nice and spiffy clean. We got all of the grime and corrosion off of there. And she's back to being beautiful all over again. If you liked my video, go ahead and hit subscribe if you haven't already, and like if you liked my video. And the Urban Cockroach is going to scurry on out of here.